Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with, Kirk? I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. Welcome to Speak on it. 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 Welcome to Speak. 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 Who you with, Kirk, dog? Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. Who you with, Kirk, dog. Hope y'all having a great day today. Hey, technical issue. We was trying to get some stuff together at the last minute, so we was apologize for being late. So we was trying to work on some things, but y'all know what time it is. It's Thursday, and my girl is in the house. My BFF, my friend, my home girl, Miss Risky, is in the house. She's waiting in the cut. But we want to welcome everyone listening on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house. As long as oh Lord, I can't even talk tonight. As well as Miss Risky is always in the house on a Thursday. Welcome, Miss Risky. How you doing tonight?
Fine, I guess.
I know
Just
it's been
some
rough. It
random
been
stuff going on.
yeah, we had some issues going on tonight. But guess what? We here. We are here, and thank God we here. So we're good now. I'm still trying to figure out something. I'm I'm still having issues. So how was your week?
I mean, it's all right. I had to go in to work today to do a couple of manual checks. My boss was like doing a half day, so I had to make sure to get there before she left because, some of my coworkers are not team players. But ooh, and then I got a funny story about my non-team player friend. Sent one of my friends an email, like my work friends, this random email with Michelle Obama. Like she sent a whole list of like it's her, and then it says your clothes should be tight enough to show you're a woman, but loose enough to show you're a lady.
And that's what she
And
sent.
she sent it to my one of my buddies, and we were like, "Excuse you." I was like,
Yeah.
I would feel some kind of way, you know? Like, it was just so random, and then she once the boss got got forwarded the email, they had a little talking to, and she tried to play it off like, "Oh, I didn't mean anything by it." And I'm like, "First off, I don't think Michelle Obama made that quote, but, like, that was so random." Like, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah. Um she knew what
Shady.
was going on.
But she did it to the
Exactly.
wrong person, though.
She didn't know. You're supposed to
She
raise
know
your
now.
pinky up when you drinking.
That's with wine.
Oh, what you drinking?
Some little adult water.
You know, I was gonna get me a drink tonight, and I
Little
sure enough forgot about it.
Pellegrino, and some Russian Standard.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome everyone to the show. If y'all just not tuning in, we apologize for being late. We was actually
trying to do some things with the history, and it took a little bit longer than what we thought. So, but we are live now. Welcome to the show. T Cal is up in the house. Said happy Thursday. He's talking about I hear that adult water. Yeah,
Adult sparkling water.
exactly. Um,
So refreshing.
I think I might. I was gonna grab me some wine tonight, and didn't get a chance to. Um, I've been running all day, so it's like, um, but definitely welcome y'all to the show. Please, if you are on my personal Facebook page, please take the time to go over to the podcast page. Speak on it with who you with, Kurt Dog. Speak on it with who you with, Kurt Dog. Take the time to like, share, tell a friend, and also click the notification, regardless of which platform you are on. Have definitely click the notification and be a part of the show. Excuse me. I've been running so much. I had to eat my dinner down quick, and when you eat too quick, you be like, so I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. Hopefully, because this might pick up everything.
Oh
Uh,
Lord.
nah. So hopefully, I don't have uh, no backlash on what I eat.
No
So
seepage.
yeah, from the top.
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
so I know you did a great job on the history. We've been trying to get it together. Um,
Yeah.
you want to go ahead
About
and
something that I was curious about. Like it's pretty much the watermelon propaganda. I mean, there's also
you
one
still?
about black folks
Oh,
and
you done
chicken.
froze on me.
Did I freeze on you? I
Well,
can hear you. Am I frozen? Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
go. There you go. You
All
know
right,
you
am I
got
back
to.
on? Because I was like, you frozen. I was like, well, I mean, I can still hear you, but you were just frozen. All right.
I don't know why you was frozen, but I was still moving. But I
Yeah.
see I don't have a good signal. Our internet been tripping lately, and I've been intending to call AT&T, and I just haven't done it yet. Haven't had the time to do it, but AT&T, we
Yep.
about to reach out and touch you. Um,
So, all
what's
right.
going on, Risky? I mean, oh Lord,
Thank your daughter, Risky
Radio K. I
Radio.
haven't had anything to
Jesus,
drink.
Jimmy.
Welcome to the show, Radio
He's
K.
feeling my buzz that I'm trying to get. I feel nothing. It's all going to you.
I don't know what's going on.
Like the Corsic, what is it? The Corsican brothers, that Cheech and Chong movie. They would feel each other's pain and stuff.
Hey,
That's an old school reference. So if you don't know who Cheech and Chong are, you're too young to be in our circle. But anyway,
exactly.
so watermelon and chicken have always been attributed to black culture. Not going to talk about the chicken part, but the watermelon, since that's what's in my fridge right now. And it got me thinking, how did this fruit,
First
this
of all,
delicious sweet fruit, become the stereotype for an entire group of people? Well, a 1937 Life magazine cover depicted a black watermelon farmer. This is on the cover of the August 9th, um, which was pretty much highlighting watermelons. On it, there were several wedged watermelons on the back of a pickup truck with a bald, middle aged black man sitting on the back of the truck, as you can see here. His name is Roy E. Parrish, and he lived in Adel, Georgia. And, he's actually just sitting on the truck looking at the acres of farmland of his harvest. And it appears on the surface to be a tribute to his hard work and his harvesting. but it shrouds a much darker and destructive racist stereotype that has persisted even today. One linking African Americans to a cherished pastime of munching on watermelons during the warmer summer months. But how did it start? The images, like I said in the story, just kind of amplified the turning point of a bigoted assumption that pretty much started in the South, but is Northerners as well. Now, the caption in the life cover story reads, quote, "Nothing makes a Negro mouth water like a luscious, fresh picked melon. Any colored mammy can hold a huge slice in one hand while holding her offspring in the other," end quote. Now, Dr. Syke Williams Forson, associate professor and chair of African American Studies at the University of Maryland, researched food shaming. Well, he researched food shaming and policing. She found that stereotypical imagery involving food and Black people began in early 1900s. She says that, quote, "When I was researching fried chicken, I found as many images about watermelon. In fact, one of my earliest images I have is of an African American man with a watermelon in each arm and a chicken on the ground, or a pullet as they call it. He was allegedly making a decision about whether to put the watermelon down and pick up the pullet, or does he leave the pullet and take the watermelons," end quote. But actually, it went further than that. It was before that. One of the first documented images first appeared in Frank Leslie's illustrated newspaper in 1869. The cartoon, in black and white, shows 5 little black boys sitting and standing in a doorway, hungrily devouring watermelon. One of these boys is so consumed with the watermelon, his face is obscured from view. Another has his head leaning outward as he tips what looks like an empty watermelon rind towards his head to catch the lingering bits of juiciness. In the years and decades following it, newspapers and magazines perpetuated these images, printing them on photo spreads, as standalone cartoons, and in ad spaces. Beyond media, it started to appear on cookware as salt and pepper shakers, dish rags, and paperweights. And each of these depictions was the same: Black people eating a seeded fruit with glee. William Forson once said, is quoted as saying, "You get this happy, darky concept of a person who just loves watermelon. They're grown in the South, but people in the South and beyond eat them. The difference becomes when Black people are denigrated vis-a-vis these foods, then there becomes another association." Let's see. Before its subversion in the Jim Crow era, the fruit symbolized Black self-sufficiency. The stereotype that African Americans were excessively fond of watermelon emerged for a specific historical reason and served a specific political purpose. The trope came in full force when slaves won their emancipation during the Civil War. Free Black people grew, ate, and sold watermelon, and in doing so made the fruit a symbol of their freedom. Southern whites threatened by Black newfound freedom and riches responded by making the fruit a symbol of Black people's perceived uncleanliness, laziness, childishness, and unwanted public presence. This racist trope then exploded in American popular culture, becoming so pervasive that its historical origins became obscure. Few Americans in 1900s would have guessed the stereotype. Would have guessed the stereotype was less than half a century old. In the early modern European imagination, the typical watermelon eater was an Italian or an Arab peasant. The watermelon, noted by a British officer stationed in Egypt in 1801, was a poor Arab's feast, a meager substitute for a proper meal. In the port city of Rosetta, he saw the locals eating watermelons ravenously, as if afraid that a passerby was going to snatch it away from him. And then he said, after he saw the rinds littered in the streets, there the fruit symbolized many of the same qualities as it would in post-emancipation America. Uncleanliness, because eating watermelon is so messy. Laziness, because growing watermelons is so easy. And because it's hard to eat watermelons and keep working, it's a fruit you have to sit down to eat. Childishness, because watermelons are sweet, colorful, and devoid of much nutritional value. And unwanted public presence, because it's hard to eat watermelons by yourself. These tropes made their way to America, but the watermelon did not yet have a racial meaning. Americans were just likely to associate the watermelon with a white Kentucky hillbilly or a New Hampshire yokel, as with black South Carolina slaves. This may be surprising even now, given how prominent watermelons were in enslaved African Americans' lives. Many slave owners let their slaves grow and sell their own watermelons, or even let them take a day off during the summer to eat the first watermelon harvest. The slave Israel Campbell would slip a watermelon into the bottom of his cotton basket when he fell short of his daily quota. Then he retrieved the melon at the end of the day and ate it. Campbell taught the trick to another slave who was often whipped for not reaching his quota, and soon it was widespread. When the year's cotton fell a few bales short of what the master had figured, it simply remained a mystery. The Southern whites saw their slaves' enjoyment of watermelon as a sign of their own supposed benevolence. When an Alabama overseer cut open watermelons for the slaves under his watch, he expected the children to run to get their slice. One boy, Henry Barnes, refused to run. And once he did get his piece, he would run off to the slave quarters to eat it out of the sight of white people. His mother would then whip him, he remembered, for being stubborn. The whites wanted Barnes to play the part of the watermelon-craving, juice-dribbling pickaninny. His refusal undermined the relationship between the master and slave. Emancipation, of course, destroyed the relationship on another level. As black people grew, ate, and sold watermelons during slavery and after, they did so, which threatened racial order. The whites seemed now it seemed now that as if blacks were flaunting their newfound freedom, living off their own land, selling watermelons in the market, and worst of all, enjoying watermelons together in public square. One white family in Houston was devastated by their nanny Clara, who left the household shortly after emancipation in 1865. Henry Evans, a young white boy to whom Clara pretty much was like his second mother, took care of him, cried for days after she left. But when he bumped into her in the street one day, he rejected her attempts to make peace. When Clara offered him some watermelon, Henry told her, quote, he would not eat what free Negroes ate, end quote. So newspapers amplified this association between the watermelon and the free black person. In 1869, Frank Leslie, he published a newspaper that pretty much probably the first caricatures of black people eating watermelons, and the article explaining, quote, the Southern Negro in no part more palpably exhibits this Epicurean taste than in his excessive fondness for watermelons. The juvenile freedom is especially intense in this partiality for its refreshing fruit. End quote. 2 years later, a Georgia newspaper reported that black men had been arrested for poisoning watermelon with the intent of killing a neighbor. The story was headlined Negro Ku Klux and equated the black on black violence with the Ku Klux Klan, asking whether the radical Republican congressional subcommittee investigating the Klan would investigate this freedman's actions. The article began with a scornful depiction of a man on his way to the courthouse. Quote, on afternoon, um, we encountered a strapping 15 Amendment bearing an enormous watermelon in his arm en route for the courthouse. End quote. It was as if the freedman's worst crime was not attempting murder, but walking around in public with a ridiculous fruit. The primary message of the watermelon stereotype was that black people were not ready for freedom. During the 1880 election, Democrats accused the South Carolina state legislature, which had been majority black during Reconstruction, of having wasted taxpayers' money on watermelons for their own refreshments. This fiction even found its way into history textbooks. D.W. Griffith's white supremacy epic film, The Birth of a Nation, released in 1915, included a watermelon feast in its depiction of emancipation, as corrupt northern whites encouraged the former slaves to stop working and enjoy some watermelon instead. In these racist fictions, blacks were no more deserving of freedom than were children. In early 20th century, the watermelon stereotype was everywhere. Potholders, paperweights, sheet music, salt and pepper shakers. Popular postcard portrayed an elderly black man carrying watermelon, and then along with it was a lament, quote, "These the worst pickings of my life," end quote. As a black man, this postcard implied he had few responsibilities and little interest in anything beyond his own stomach. Edwin S. Porter, famous for directing the Great Train Robbery in 1903, co-directed The Watermelon Patch. 2 years later, which was featured Darky sneaking into the watermelon patch. Men dressed as skeletons chasing away the watermelon thieves, a la the Ku Klux Klan, who dressed as ghosts to frighten blacks. A watermelon eating contest, and a band of white vigilantes. I can't even talk right now. Ultimately, smoking a watermelon thieves out the cabin. The long history of white violence to maintain the racial order was played for laughs. It may seem silly to attribute so much meaning to a fruit, and the truth is that there's nothing inherently racist about watermelons, but cultural symbols have the power to shape how we see the world and the people in it. Such as when the 28-year-old police officer Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri, saw and fatally killed Michael Brown, an 18-year-old black man, describing him as superhuman demon. These symbols have roots in real real historical struggles. Specifically, in the case of watermelons, white people's fear of emancipated black body. Whites used the stereotype to denigrate black people, to take something they were using to further their own freedoms and make it an object of ridicule. It ultimately does not matter if somebody means to offend when they tap onto the racist watermelon stereotype, because the stereotype has a life of its own. So, I mean, it has a deep history, and along with some other things. But like I used to for a long time, like didn't want to eat certain things in front of like mixed crowds because I didn't want them to associate that with, well, look at her, they just love that watermelon. Like, it's really something we think about, eating chicken in public and all this stuff, when it's a food for everybody. Like, everybody enjoys these
Everybody
things.
love it.
But for some reason, this runs deep. Like,
Yeah.
it's something we can't shake in. It needs to stop. Like, we need to stop these stereotypes. Like, they're based on hate.
And that's the history of America, that stereotype black folks, and people run with it and continue to run with it, because the truth of the watermelon should be shared in our history, in schools, for people can stop that. But at the
Right.
same time, when I go to the store, I'm not looking at black folks going to get watermelon. Normally, it's our counterpartners, the Caucasian. They sending their kids over there. Make sure you get a good one. They go over there and thumping it and all of that. Now, let the truth be told. From where I grew up at, we stopped at the corner with the
Right.
watermelon man and got it.
Right.
So,
In a truck on the side of the road.
exactly, they were some of the best ones you can ever get. But at the same time,
Farmers market, all those things.
that stereotype, that's the problem that we have today. People stereotype anything that they feel that black people love or like, and it's something that every American like it. But
But see, with the watermelon, it was a sign of prosperity. Like,
yeah,
they were able to grow this
yeah,
and make money, and it was a sign of freedom and wealth, because if you had land, you can grow things. And I guess during that time, watermelons were the things to grow, and they were making money. And then people felt a certain kind of way. They were like, wait, they becoming our equal. Like, they're
exactly,
starting to buy their own homes and their, horses and more land. No, 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 no. We need to keep them down here so that I can feel like I'm over somebody. And we talked about that before.
exactly. Kind of
That
like, go ahead, go ahead,
no,
go ahead.
that no, you go.
Kind of like, when I told you we have our family call every night at 7. Uh, when my mom got sick, and my aunts that was on there, one of my aunt, shout out to Aunt Honey. She um, she was telling us a lot of history that we did not know. Um, of course, we know my grandparents, they own a lot of land, almost 70 acres. And but she told me how they made their money. They sold sweet potato, they grew cotton, they grew all type of produce that they could, and they were selling. That's how my aunts and my mom them got off through school, because they actually end up, uh, when they made their money, they paid for whoever was in school at that time. So yeah, it's a lot of things that the black community is known for, but when they start to prosper, doing good in whatever they're doing, that's when we have stuff like the Black Wall Street, and um, the North Carolina riots, the Chicago riot. That's when we have stuff like that, because people get jealous. You're not supposed to be that way. You came from slavery. You can't do this. And then
Right.
they end
You're
up
doing
killing.
better than us.
Exactly.
They need to feel better about themselves by making sure somebody's below them. They can. What's easier than to hate on something that's the obvious? Like,
Exactly.
doesn't matter your character or anything else. They just want to feel like they're over something, and we need to get over that.
Exactly. So, um, thank you for always bringing history. And um, oh, I did say that. I had took notes, but I got everything out that I was talking about. But either way, thank you for always bringing the history. It's always a good thing. As you can see, the pictures that are strolling. Uh, it was several more pictures I was trying to get up, and practice make better. So uh, that's why we were late trying to get the pictures up, just to give y'all the idea, the titles that they use, stuff like that. So, where did you get that article from? In case
Let's see. I
somebody want to.
used a couple of things. So, HuffPost.com had a story on how watermelon's reputation got tangled in racism. Let's see. That was with the Time Life story. Then I used TheAtlantic.com, how watermelons became a racist trope. It was a story by William R. Black, and it was the 2014 article. And I think probably some wiki on a few other things, but not much. But those were the main sources of my research.
No, okay. When you get the opportunity, just put it up in the chat in case somebody want to go and read
Oh
it for
yeah, yeah.
themselves. And so that's always good. I appreciate you. I just love whenever you come on the show on Thursday. It make my day easy. It'd be an unstressful day, except for when we have technical issues. But but that's always good. I appreciate you. If you are just tuning in, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I am Who You With Kurt Dog. And this is Miss Risky. She's on the show with me on Thursday. You can live chat with us on the show. And also,
I don't know if I
uh,
can put make a comment on here. I can send it in the private chat. I don't see that I can do it.
oh, well, damn
Hold
it.
on.
I don't know how your stream look. Do you see the chat coming up on the side?
Oh, I have that, but there's no place for me to.
Okay, but if it's no way where it say type a message on your side,
No,
oh, my bad.
no, I know. Like the thing that you would think would be a chat box is for restream conversation. Like if I have questions and to send us a message. That ain't it.
That's not the
Uh,
private chat.
no,
That's the private
no,
chat.
it's for.
Okay.
No, it's not. Like I'll show it to you.
Oh,
It's
just
like
put test in
actually.
there and see if it'll work.
It's it.
Just type
Well, I don't.
test in there and see if it'll pop up in there.
There's no option for that. It's like, hey there, thanks for
Oh,
reaching
yeah.
out to Restream. How would you like to get
Oh,
started? Billing, pricing.
never
Those are my
mind.
options.
Never mind. Never mind. Radio said interesting article. It
So
is
I'll send it
very
to
interesting.
that,
Okay.
and
I
then
think
you can post it.
I can post it. Oh, it
Uh,
didn't do it.
that's one of them. So you can get to the
Let me see if
exact
I can
story.
see if it see if it's gonna. Oh, yes, it did. Um. Oh, it did. Both of them. They both actually came up. I want to say they both did.
No, it's just the
So
one. It's like
okay.
hyphenated.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Hold
just
on.
one.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
just one. Because
Okay.
like I could just take you to the Huff, but you have to search for the story. Because like I said, these stories are from like 2014.
Okay. Well, the
So
thing
if you want
is,
the exact
whatever
link,
platform you own, if
mhm,
you can copy and paste that
that's what I did.
well, not you. I'm just saying
Oh yeah.
in the
Hold
viewers,
on.
if the followers, if y'all can copy and paste it, you may be able to just Google it and it'll come up, and you will see all the different pictures that they have of it, which is um some of them is
Here's
very interesting.
yeah,
So
and it comes with pictures, so you can see. Here's the second one.
okay, I just got it. Um, let me see if I can. But also, if it's your first time listening, please do not put links in the page. That'll get you blocked. I won't click on them. Excuse me. The only one that can do it is Miss Risky and I. Um, but definitely take the time. It should have came up on whatever platform you are listening to, that you're watching us on, and you could be able to actually take a look at it. It's a good read. it's a good read, and hopefully, some of our trolls will take the time and read it, and maybe it'll change their mind a little bit. So
Probably
I
not.
doubt, I doubt it, too. But it sounds like a good thing.
I mean, listen, like the hippies had it, like they had the plan, and then people didn't like all the kumbaya, like,
Uh,
and all those swirly babies that were being created.
exactly. Pat your time. This might help you out a little bit, so you won't be calling me 19 times again with your number block. So
I'm
that's
sure
good.
somebody's gonna be like, "Stop talking about slavery."
Oh, I sent you a message somebody sent last week. Cry a river. Slavery happened a long time ago. Well, the problem is a lot of people. See, I shouldn't have looked up that radio message. A lot of people don't realize they still in slavery. So as
Like those
long
residual things that were taught, those way of thinking carries through generations because it hasn't been fixed.
exactly, it's a generation curse, which is something one day we need to deal with because it's some generation curse that is going on that
And
we
continues to go on.
need to stop it. Need to stop it. So, um, think I ought to let the picture stay up there, or want me to take them off?
Yeah.
Uh,
You
which one?
can take it off. I mean,
Oh,
you can take them off because we'll move on from
yeah,
other
we'll
stuff.
move on from
I don't
that.
know what, but something.
Well, we're gonna hit on a couple of things tonight. We're gonna hit on a couple. Hold on. Okay, I knew that was gonna happen. I have to reposition myself because I was all over in the corner, all bent down,
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
looking like a little troll. Okay, I'm back in the center. Um, yeah, radio. I probably did jinx myself, but it's gonna get interesting. So, um, this happened earlier this week, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Miss Cora Bush. She's the congresswoman protest on the step of the Capitol to help force the Biden administration to extend the eviction uh, notice for millions of people. So, shout out to her, great job uh, out of Missouri. So shout out to her for taking that stand, and all the people that went out and protest this week. Um, Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Haynes III, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Reverend William Barr. No, not Barr. His name slipped my mind. But all the ones that took a stand for the over 200 people that was arrested in Washington this week for a peaceful protest. That's something I just cannot get over. A peaceful protest, you get arrested. Mm. But a riot, you get a slap on the wrist.
Of course. Storming buildings.
Destroying property.
Maybe we should have dressed up. Maybe that's what it is. When you do your peaceful protest, you have to do a costume. Because, like, where's that dude? The dude with the horns
Horn.
get arrested?
I think he's still in jail, if I'm not
Oh, is he
mistaken.
in jail? All right,
Yeah,
never
I
mind
believe
then.
he's still
So
in
don't
jail.
wear horns, but dress up and anything else, you'll be fine.
But I kind of glanced over the story, and I should have pulled it up, but I said, you know what, we're gonna make this a different type of night because we had so much fun last night. Had a great time last night, but we're gonna hit a couple of stories today. One is uh, y'all remember Amy Cooper? That's the one that called the police on the bird watcher in Central
With the
Park.
dog.
Yeah, the one
That
that
one.
almost choked the
Choke the
dog out.
dog to death.
Yeah, she tried to choke the dog out, and she probably gonna say the black man did it allegedly.
You're my
Say the black
dog.
man, he killed my dog. Um, well, she playing the victim.
Of course.
Amy Cooper says she was scared of black men, and now she terrified of walking her dog. Dog
Oh,
probably don't want to walk with you no more after
like
you
for real. But they
you
have this
damn near
wonderful
choke them
new
out.
service that have like dog walkers. It's like Uber for your dogs. I think it's
I
called
actually
Wag.
seen that.
Yeah, yeah. So look, she doesn't have to go out. Look, Amy, you don't have to go out anymore. Walk your dog. Get
Hold
somebody
on,
else to do it.
we ain't gonna say their name. Uh, that company reach out to us. We
No, no,
got
no,
you.
no. No, I don't know what the name is. I just made it up.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. I was
I
gonna
just
say
associated with a
no.
dog.
We ain't
I
doing
mean, I
that
don't
no
think that's
more.
what it is.
No, but I actually seen someone that did it the other day, and just so happened we was on the elevator together, and there was I'm on the elevator with about three dogs. She was walking. She was walking two of those expensive dogs. You know the ones with the low pointy legs, the low funny haircut with all the wool on it, looking almost like a sheep or something. Not a
That could
sheep
be any
dog,
dog.
but
That could
well,
be
this
any little dog.
no, it wasn't little. It wasn't little. It was about
It's a
waist
big
high.
dog.
Yeah, I had an
It
old
could be
fancy,
anything.
had a fancy haircut. One of them had the fingernail polish. That was the female, and I think the guy had his paws was buff. And they were shiny. I said okay, and then
Could be
some
a
other
what
little.
is it? A peony, like those great peonies, or a poodle. Like it's a lot of dogs that could be.
It's kind of
What
like
color
one of
was it?
those. These was kind of brownish, and
Could
how
be
she could tell the difference between them. The male was bigger. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the picture.
wow.
Um, Radio said we had one of those professional dog walker kill six dogs by leaving them in a hot car and tried to cover it up.
There was a situation recently in Dallas with a situation, but we still don't know what happened to the dog. I mean, I'm not going to say too much because somebody was investigating it, but I'm surprised we hadn't seen it on the news.
Uh,
That's all I'm saying,
uh,
but it just some mystery.
shh, don't say it.
Oh no, I'm not
Uh,
giving too many details, but it's a
yeah.
mystery.
Mhm. Sounding like my sister-in-law now. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious what type of dog they were. Um,
Don't go
but
looking
I've
it up because
seen
it's like 5 million different breeds of dogs, dude.
yeah, it is. I think I'm down that hole now.
No, I'm gonna
Uh,
get you back on track
uh, I think this
because
might
there are
be.
several types of German shepherds that I didn't even know existed. But like, no, dogs. There's too many variations. You'll never figure it out
No,
unless you just ask.
I kind of think this is it. Similar
Well,
to
Great
it.
Danes don't have a lot of
No,
hair.
it's not
He
a
he
Great
said
Dane.
this guy it had hair, so again, it could be anything.
Oh, he said he liked Great Danes.
Oh,
Now,
I like Great Danes.
my brother used to have a Great Dane years ago, and then
Those
somebody
are too
stole it.
big.
He was a full grown Great Dane, and he was cool though. I forgot his name, but but the Great Dane was cool. He was cool, very
I
protective.
remember somebody introduced us to their dog. Didn't warn us of what it was and how big it was. Just snuck up on us, and we had been drinking. And when I tell you that
Oh
thing was the
Lord,
size of a horse, but it had hair.
oh
I
Lord.
want to say it was a Great Pyrenees. I don't know, but it looked like a freaking bear. It was huge. And
Yeah,
you can't just sneak up dogs on certain types of people.
and not when they drinking either.
Like
'Cause
it I mean, it worked out well. It was nice and it just sat there, but you don't want to spring things like that. Like keep them in the back if anything. Like
yeah, I one of our friends had a dog back in the days. He was a pit bull mix. And when I first seen him, I stood there like he came up stiff. Then he started licking my hand. He was cool then, but he was a good dog. I loved him. Um, I'm speaking of dogs. I'm trying to stroll through here and see. So you told me not to look. You unfroze on me? Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't see your eyes move. You told me not to look, and I'm just strolling
I know
down
you just
looking.
hard headed.
I went way down deep in that rabbit hole. Um, I guess it had like curly hair. Both of them had like curly hair, like they go to the beautician and they curl
They probably
their
did.
hair. Um, it was looking good. I said, okay. Dog looked at me like, "Where you going?" All right, let me get off this page because I'm all off track. All right, let me stop that. But yeah, Great Danes are great dogs. I said if I ever get another dog, the one that I would get, which I've always wanted one, is a full-blooded Dumbo Peachy, um,
A
which is
Doberman.
really yeah, which is really they are very smart dogs, very smart.
So are what are those?
German Shepherds,
German Shepherd.
Rockwallers,
My aunt had one of those, but they use those a lot in police because
police.
they're actually great. They're good to easy to train and they're smart. I always
Yeah,
wanted a beagle, but they like dig in tunnels.
hey,
Hello, Zillas.
congratulations.
He's late to the party.
He said he got his vaccine. Let us know after you get the other one. Yeah, no, that's good that you got your vaccine. So definitely take a stand because I know Louisiana is a hot spot right now.
I think they're about to shut some states down. I mean, ours won't be shut down, but you know,
Yeah,
they
ours
need,
is.
and then they need to cut off Florida just altogether. Just cut them away.
Well, the governor, it's amazing how they go and try to blame the Biden administration for what we're going through. But they chose to, you're in timeout. I had to put her in timeout.
Hey, I didn't create it. I just shared it. You don't know what
I'm not,
that's in reference
I'm,
to.
hey,
You just assuming, and you would be right.
I came with you. No, no, uh-uh.
I
No, we,
was like, that's great.
mm. Oh, yeah, change the subject, Marcellus.
What are you, 5? No.
No, I think they changed it this year.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they changed. They canceled it this year, or did they? You see, now I'm gonna have to pull it up and see. I know something happened, and they were saying no. I want to say they had changed. They decided to cancel it for this year, and it
Well, I
was the
mean, it was canceled this year. It would be for next year. Um, because
well.
it
I
happened.
think
It's like between February and March. So let's
I'm
see.
trying to.
I don't see future Mardi Gras date. So March 1st of 2022 would be the date, but I don't know.
I think it was
Cancel.
something happened.
Let me see. Uh,
Okay, let me see because it came up. Uh, oh, it was not canceled, just different. It was just different. They couldn't have all the people, all the floats, and all of that. So they made it completely different. Marcellus, you in Louisiana? Tell us if they canceled.
Because I don't
Uh,
see anything where they canceled it. I mean, because we're still far off. like
Yeah,
because it's in March of next year.
yeah. They said it was not cancer. It was just different. Um,
Like I think they were talking about like having homes decorated like floats or something. But I don't know if they
um,
did it for this year or if they're going to continue that on for next year. I was like, what is this at my door?
somebody
No,
at
they
your
were picking
door
up the trash. I heard a dump thump at my door. I thought I was going to have to,
this late. This late?
well, you know how many units in our apartments?
Yeah, but it's 9:08.
Listen, one time it was like 10 o'clock and and I think he was having a rough day because I thought he was coming through the door and I was like, listen here,
Mhm.
I will.
This ain't what you want. Wait, so you're gonna electrocute them, huh?
Lisa's
They gonna
nose, like give him a little zap or swat him.
hey,
You know, I can hit him with the plastic. The plastic hurts.
if you hold that button a long time, it get more juice. Hold it for a
I
long
got my
time.
energizer. Nobody needs to be at my door.
And
That's the
radio
point.
said cue up the Barry White and show you right.
Yeah.
Marcella, show you right. um, I
Wasn't
don't
that
know.
Isaac Hayes?
Was it? It
I
sounded
don't
like
know. It was probably
Isaiah.
all of them. I think they all at one point.
Well, that was Secret Garden. That was Barry White. I
It
want to
was
say Isaac
everybody on it.
Hayes. Yeah, yeah, I think it was all of them. Show you
Yeah.
right. Secret Garden.
I was
However, it
thinking
went.
older song though. I was thinking back,
Oh,
but
I know you had that old
just
spirit.
quotes.
Marcella said,
You
"I
call
don't
me
know. I don't."
old?
I said, "An old spirit."
I'm just messing
Said, "I don't ever go away."
with my moo. I was comfortable today. I was like, I want as little material fabric on my body as possible. Feel so free.
uh,
Hold on, let me do
so,
my.
oh, all aboard! Welcome to the show. I thought that was I was thinking that was Marcella's said autograph tapping. Okay,
Yeah,
welcome to the show, all aboard. I don't think I ever seen your name on there. Please take the time to like, share, click the notification, subscribe to the channel. And if you are not private, I will follow you back. That's one thing about the show. Anybody who followed the show, I do go back and try to follow you. But if your account is private, I'm unable to follow you. So so I definitely do that. Hold on, Marcellus, getting kind of jealous. You ain't paying rent there. You can't
I
ask
know.
that question.
Mm, give me
Who
no
is that there?
coins.
Who is that there?
It,
I'm jealous. That's the
it shouldn't be.
wrong
Nobody
sign.
should be at the door.
Exactly.
Anybody come
Uh,
through that door, they getting hit.
the guys get beat.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never
yeah,
been. I've
they get
never
them.
been to Mardi Gras um, during that time. So
There's some women that be throwing beads at the fine young gentlemen's.
okay, I take your word
Whatever
for
you
it.
got. If you got chesticles, abs, something.
T Cal said, I feel you. I got my moo moo too.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm about to invest in some Kafgans. I'm finna embrace my cougardom. I mean, I don't like
All,
them. I don't like the young tenderonis, but I want to embody the part of a cougar.
hey, I feel you. All the boys said, I've been here before. The names sound familiar, but I appreciate you for coming back. I definitely do. Um, excuse me. As Marcellus always say, this is the people show. It's a show for everyone. So definitely keep coming back. Tell a friend because we do this thing and you never know what you're gonna get with us. You never know. So but we definitely appreciate you for tuning in tonight and continue to come back. Everybody is welcome. Um, did any of you have any side effect to the shot? And which shot did you take? I actually took Pfizer. The first night, it kind of hit me a little bit later. I started getting tired the next day. I end up uh, got up the next morning, sitting at the breakfast table, eating. I thought I was eating my breakfast, and I'm looking at my phone. All of a sudden, my phone fell. I said, no, I'm going to get back into bed. So it had me down about a day and a half on the first one. The second one, it was a little bit different. I had the chills, I had the flight headache, and uh, it did affect me a little bit different. And I was down for a couple of, well, actually, I was down from Friday to Monday, I believe, on both of them because
And
I didn't do the
me,
show that weekend.
yeah, I did Pfizer. Me, I was just exhausted. Like there was fatigue like I've never experienced in my life. Like my eyes, like no matter how much sleep I got, I needed more. Didn't experience any other symptoms. Little sore arm, but that's like nothing. But yeah,
I
everybody in my circle, they've been fine.
I didn't get the sore on arm until the second shot.
Yeah.
Now, also they recommend. Some people have told me that they recommend you taking Gatorade. That'll kind of help.
And
Me,
massage the area so that you won't feel it too much.
yeah, massage theory, but I recommend. I already said Gatorade. I recommend Armor Body, uh, because to me, Armor Body uh, give you a little bit more energy than Gatorade do. So that's me personally,
Yeah.
but whatever choice you make, either one of them should be fine. I prefer Armor Body over Gatorade. Armor Body, we need sponsors. Holler at us. I drink plenty of you.
And all aboard, I guess he's got allergies. Oh, well, I have really bad allergies as well. I get injections weekly. Now I'm down like every 2 weeks, and I didn't have any issues. I've never had any reactions to any medications or what do you call them? Just any shot, like flu shots, anything. I can take those. I've never had any problems.
What I
And when I
would,
tell you I'm allergic to everything, I'm allergic to everything. If it's alive, got roots, grows, people, I'm allergic to it. I was a
yeah,
very sick child. Like nature puts me out every time.
all aboard. If I was you, what I would recommend you doing is to talk with your doctor and ask if it's okay because at the time when I actually took my shots, I was seeing a infection disease doctor, and she gave me the okay because my primary doctor said no, I'm not gonna tell you do anything until you see the infection disease doctor, and let them be the one to give you the okay. And she gave me the okay. I knew it probably would affect me a little bit different than most people, but I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
but if you
here.
decide to take it, make sure before you go, take you an ibuprofen so that it kind of lessens a lot of things that could happen. Like better to err on the side of caution than to just be like, oh my gosh, I'm jacked up. So I did that, but like I said, I didn't have any too many issues. I was just dog tired, like
Yeah.
delirious. And then at one point, I thought I was feeling something. I was like, "Oh Lord, I feel lightheaded," and I was like, "Oh wait, I haven't eaten yet."
See,
It
with
was like
me,
late in the day.
I took the shot and I was taking antibiotic at the same time. That's why I had to talk with my infection disease doctor to get it okay. And which I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to stay safe. And that's the best thing to do. Check with your doctor and ask them what's the best route you should take. Overall, right now, since the numbers are going up, I would say anything is better than nothing.
Yeah, because
Um,
there's I know a couple of people whose grandparents have it. Both of them have it because they didn't get their COVID shots. Um, and not even sure how they got it because they've been, pretty much just with themselves. But I'm sure if, because even if you're vaccinated, you can still be a carrier. Like you can
Yeah.
expose somebody else. Like
You can
why take
still
that chance?
you
And
can
I can still
still
get it.
you can still get it even though you have the vaccine,
Yeah.
but it can lighten up the symptoms that you have. So I personally would check with your doctor
And
and
get an EpiPen, sir. I got like 2 of them. I haven't had to use them, but I almost killed myself eating watermelon. Going back to that story, I forgot I was allergic to them.
oh God. Was it
Like
at
I
least
ate
sweet?
like 2 because okay, Tom Thumb had a sale, and I was like, you know what? That's all I feel like. I was just craving watermelon. Mind you, I hadn't had watermelon in years, and they have the bowls where they're
Mhm.
pre-cut, $5. I got 2 of those bad boys.
Yeah.
That's all I ate the weekend, and then by Sunday I was like, I'm tired. What's wrong with me? As I'm eating watermelon, and then I was like, wait, I'm allergic to.
I'm not supposed to have this. I
Right.
don't
It
think
was
this
like the
feels good.
most watermelon I've had in my life because you have like a couple of bites and you're done. Have a little
Yeah.
scratchy throat, move on. I'm inhaling bowls in a weekend. Eyes were all like this gunk was like everything that could come out of my body was like mucus.
Oh
Like
wow.
like my eyes were just like a mess. My throat was a mess. My chest was on fire.
Mm.
So yeah.
Now, now, I growing up as a child, we used to eat a lot of watermelon, uh, courtesy of the guy down the street on the corner in the back in the old pickup truck. I
What's his
think
name?
it was,
James.
I think it
Homie
was
named
red.
James.
It was red, but also they had sugar cane on that truck too. Um, so we would go down there and get our watermelon, and what we would do, we would take the seeds. After we eat them, we wash the seeds off and plant them in the backyard. So we started growing them. And I think I just ate too much as a child, and for years it actually would. He said, John, for years it actually started. Every time I ate it, it just wasn't a good night. But I had some. I believe it was last month. My wife bought some. I said, I'm gonna try a little bit, and I ate some, and it was good. It was good. It was sweet, so I was pleased with that. So
Yeah.
that
And
was
so
pretty
far, my
good.
allergy injections are keeping me from dying from eating watermelon or anything. Because, like I said, I'm allergic to most things that most people shouldn't be allergic to.
Yeah, and then those sugar canes back in the days. I don't, not sure where you're from, all aboard, but uh, the man that sold the watermelon, the low fruits and stuff on the back of the truck, he also had the long sugar cane. And we'll go up there and we'll cut us a piece off and suck on it for a while till all the sugar gone. And then I'm
I've
like,
never
Lord,
tried that. Almost had a chance to try it in elementary school because we went to the farmer's market and she didn't have a thing to cut it. So we never got to try it.
mm, they're hot now. They're expensive.
Nah, I just,
Uh,
do my Splenda. I'm good.
well, he talking about take a Benadryl first for
Well, I take 2 allergy meds. I take a nasal spray and like a Zyrtec or Allegra. I have to alternate, but I have to take 2. I always have to do a nasal spray and then the pill. And then Benadryl if I have a reaction to something later on.
okay. All right, all aboard. You need to stay in contact, man, because next year we're talking about coming out that way. It's a milestone. So if COVID gonna get up out of here, we'll be coming that way. Long as Florida's still not a hot zone, but it's a milestone for me. So we're gonna, the good Lord say the same. We're gonna turn up. Your city would never be the same. uh,
And then he says that my scalp starts to itch. Shush. Stop.
hey, uh, exactly.
Speaking of sugarcane, wasn't there a body found in a sugarcane in Louisiana? There was some story. Some boy
It
that
was
was missing, and then he was found, and his friends, like he was at his friend's
he,
house.
he left with his friend mama. Matter of fact, we need to do a
Yeah,
update
whatever
on
happened to that story?
let me see if I could do an update. If this is your first time listening, every
We're
once in
random.
a while a story come up and
Marcellus, you know this story?
um we
You
have
should
to do
know.
a research. Let me see. Keep talking, Miss Risky, while I try to pull this up.
Yeah, like see, that's how my mind works. Things just connect, and then we go down these rabbit holes, and then 3 hours later, we're still doing a show, and I got to work in the morning, and I'm like, oh Lord. But fortunately, my boss is gonna be on vacation, so fun times. Found
um I forgot the
Hayfield.
name of the city. Let me see.
Kawan Charles.
Last year. Yeah, Kwan Bobby
He was
Charles.
15 years old. Let's see. This story is February 11, 2021.
Okay, so that must be an update.
Jeanette Irving, 37, was charged with failure to report a missing child.
Jeanette Evans, who was that? Was that the
Uh,
woman or okay,
I think that's the woman.
that's the friend mama.
hmm Contributing to the delinquency of the minor. I don't see anything after that, though.
Yeah,
That was
if
that.
somebody is aware of what happened with this situation or what's going on with it, reach out to us
Yeah,
because
because I don't see anything past
February
February of
21st.
2021.
Because the thing is, it was kind of crazy because they compared his story to Emmett Till's story,
Yeah,
because there was some head damage.
similarities.
Yeah. So if someone that is in Louisiana that know more about the story or the latest on it, please reach out to us. Um, you can always call, but don't block your number. All right, send me a text 972-591-3665, 972-591-3665, or you can send me an email. Email probably quicker because if I know the number, I go ahead and
I just saw
look it up.
Marcellus's comment.
Let me see. He said sugarcane grow like grass in South Louisiana,
Now I'm looking
and
at the.
it's
I'm from the
amazing.
north. We stay away from the south. Yeah,
Oh,
he had a baby face. Look at young
he
little
was
Tootie.
15.
I
He was
know, but he looked
15.
like he was 9 in one of them pictures.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
Cause
It's a
there's some
shame.
some 15, 14-year-olds that look older than my mama. And I'm like, you
We
in
ain't
high
gonna go.
school?
We're
Okay. You need
not gonna
to.
go
You
down
had a
that
hard
rabbit hole.
life.
I seen a picture earlier this week, and I had to call my sister. I'm like, who that grown woman in that picture? She like, boy, that's a child.
Yeah.
Look like a grown woman to me. I'm like, hold on now. That woman, are you sure? Yeah. Oh, hold on. See, I'm gonna see if this one of these spam calls. Hold on. Hold on. Oh no. Hold on. Speak on it.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Doing good, and you?
I'm doing good. This is all aboard. Calling in from Miami.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
I recognize the voice. I think you called me once before, right?
I did. We spoke before. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember you. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's good.
I'm, you have a good memory.
Once I heard the voice, I knew who it was. I was like, oh yeah, I know this voice. So what you got going? Because
Um,
you had just moved to Miami last time you called.
Yep.
Okay.
Man, I don't know how you keep all of that stuff in your head and do a show.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Listen, we just brought up a story from a few years ago
Well,
over
I wanted
sugarcane.
to just speak on a couple of things. One, if you guys come to Miami, I will be at the meet and greet, and I will just let me get fully vaccinated and all of that. But I would love to meet with everyone and be a part of that.
Okay. Well, we're working on some things for weekend. We're finna get ready to take the show to a whole different level. So this upcoming year is gonna be crazy, but I'm actually coming out toward that way. If COVID give us the opportunity, we will be there on a family trip. And
Hmm.
fortunately, it's my birthday month. I'm hitting a milestone, so it's
When's
gonna
your birthday month?
June,
This month.
June. It'll be in June
Oh, so
22.
next year.
Yes, it'll be next year.
Oh, God willing, we will be out of this. This will be done. Um, and yeah, I think that's definitely possible.
I'm praying and hoping that we are, because my wife been asking me, "Hey, what you want to do for your milestone?" I said, "Look, I don't care if we do it here, do it uh, it's out the country. I don't care. I'm gonna turn up, because the thing is, in my age range, growing up,
So the 30 years old is a big milestone.
oh, I appreciate it. Shit, I appreciate it. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I appreciate it. I
Oh, that's
wish.
good.
No, no, it's a great milestone, because growing up, it was a lot of people in my generation that did not make it to see 18. So I'm proud of my age. I will be 50 next year. So
Oh, wow.
I'm proud of it.
Congratulations
I
on
appreciate it.
congratulations on your belated birthday on 49. Now, what I can tell you is that's the thing that we really need to teach and preach, and the beauty of life. I think in a lot of communities, um, the concept of living to reach an old age, an
Yes,
older age, it's so foreign. Like people don't even expect to reach 25 or you know or 30 or 40, but that's why we don't prepare and we don't take life seriously, but God willing, we will all make it to 50, 60, 70, and beyond. And that's a blessing.
exactly. And I remember I said on the show from time to time, one of our local news reporter, Clarice Tinsley. I remember growing up at 10 o'clock, they would say, "It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?" So just like the children of Atlanta was during my growing up. So that was really
Just
scary.
people just missing left and right.
Exactly. Um, I didn't have it where she can hear you a while ago, Risky. I know
Oh,
you asked the question a while ago, but she can hear you now. I believe she can hear you.
okay. Well,
Can
I
you hear
don't
Miss
remember
Risky?
what
Hi,
I
how are
said.
you?
Hi, how are you?
And
I can't
I
remember
love
what
your
I said
outfit.
earlier. Thank you.
Oh, okay. She says she loves something. What you say you love?
My outfit.
I
All
love
of,
your outfit.
oh, she says she love your outfit.
Yeah, I heard that. I
Oh,
always hear my
okay.
compliments.
Her moo moo.
My moo moo. Like
No, I know
it's like
that's my
$10.
moo.
Like I just got it at a
No,
mall
you
somewhere.
Well,
represent the continent.
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, made
So
in China.
we're working on some good things for the show. Hopefully, this upcoming year, we will be able to go out and do live broadcasts. So we're trying to get all that set
We are?
up.
I didn't hear about that.
Well, hey, hey, some we haven't really talked that much, because we both been real busy. But who knows? You might find us somewhere on a Thursday night, turned up, instead of watching the Cowgirls, the Cowboys, because I'm not a big fan of them, even though I'm here. But all aboard, I appreciate it. So, have you settled in pretty good, or
Say that one more time.
have you settled in since you moved to Miami?
Oh yes, yes. But I've been coming back and forth for a long time, like for years. So I know what this is about. You guys were also talking about New Orleans, which is one of my favorite cities, and and then also outside of Louisiana, where that young child was found in the sugarcane fields. So that's what actually made me call in. If that situation, and from what I remember, he was like at a sleepover or something, and he was found in a puddle.
Yes.
But he had some sort of head trauma.
Yes.
So clearly something happened to him.
Right.
I would love an update on that.
That's what we were trying to figure out, because the only thing we found was February 2021, but it looks like they're just getting arrest warrants and things like that. So I have no idea what happened, if there was a trial. So, but they did arrest her, and that's about the most we got out of that story. Let's see. So it was like what, February 11th was when the story was done or written, and they said on Tuesday, Janet Irving, 37, was arrested on charges of failure to report a missing child and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So, and that's pretty much where we are.
In February, we have to hold them accountable, because I mean, it seems like we should have heard something by now.
Right.
There's been a lot of mysterious cases that have come out of the South, and not just the South, but specifically the South.
Yes.
Where there have been cases like this. There was one where a woman was in Georgia, and she was like on a trip, not a trip, like on a sleepover sort of a thing, like a girls' night out at a person's house, and she was I believe she was murdered, but you can't really say that because they declared that it wasn't a homicide, that she just fell off of a balcony, right?
I think it was a bachelorette party or something.
Yeah, because it was because they said somebody's boyfriend came over, and then there's some cloudiness or something that that's where the story gets murky. Like they don't know, like she ended up somewhere and did, but nobody knew what happened. This was in 2020, September 8, in Georgia.
You heard of that story too?
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
We quick.
Listen, because I remember the story, and I was like, I remember. I was trying to see, because they had a picture of in here, but so it seemed like in September 8, 2020.
She was a mother of 6.
Yeah, because this incident took place in 2018, and they claimed there was an accidental death, but then it was reopened, and there's an investigation into the mysterious death of her, and she was a mother. But yeah, she went over to a friend's sleepover birthday party at the home in North Georgia, and then the next morning, the 40-year-old was found in her pajamas, unresponsive in the backyard. So,
what was her name? What was her name? Because we need.
That's what I'm trying to find.
Oh, okay, but she was 40 years old.
Yeah. Tamla Horsford. Tamla. Last name is Horsford.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to do research on these over the weekend and see what I can find out, and hopefully we can have an update next week.
There's a picture of her.
There's one more that I would like for you guys to research, and then I will let you go. I won't take all of your time, but thank you for listening.
Okay.
To me. There are these boys out of California. They're out of, I believe it's Bakersfield. There's 2 boys. Let me get their names. I'm sure she's already found them because he's good.
Listen, that's what my mom, she's like, you just find anybody, like real life, personal, public. I use my resources.
The only thing we need is a little bit of information. We can look it up.
Yeah, I think that we need to bring attention to these mysterious cases, because it seems like we all know that when it's a black child or a black person, It doesn't get the attention. So maybe you guys could do a show about that. When you guys do your research, but it's out of Bakersfield, and the boys are let me see, the name starts with an O. See, that's the thing. They don't even put their names on the. It's Oren and Orson West.
What was the name again?
Oh, Orson and Oren, I found them.
O-R-I-N. Orson. She found it. I know.
Yeah, I found it. Yeah, because I just did a search for Bakersfield incident, and it didn't take long. Let's see, when is this story done? So this story was done or updated 4 weeks ago, and they said it's been nearly 200 days since Orson and Oren West were reported missing in California City. They were reported missing December 21st, 2020. Let's see. They're saying it's not a cold case yet. But I don't know. Like they have they actually have a number you can call for information. Yeah.
Toddlers can't just disappear. Especially not two of them. And these were adopted children. They were taken from their mother because they were taken from their mother, and I don't understand how all of that took place. But, were removed from their mother's care, and it seems like their actual biological family was very concerned about them. But they were removed, and they were adopted into this family who had 2 other adopted children or foster children, and then they had 2 biological children. So they had 6 children in that household, including those 2. And from what I've looked up, they had no real source of income except for the children.
The foster
I'm very
system.
skeptical.
They're probably
don't
in the trade. Yeah, like there's something like either they were probably sold or something was done to them. But yeah, it doesn't look like they've provided any additional information. This one here, when was this?
Well, it looked like it's
this one was June 1st.
latest,
Yeah, and
where 83 people have been interviewed, 44 search warrants have been conducted on resident electronic device, 170 items have been seized, over 200 tips have been received, 16 mass area search have been conducted, and 3 searches have been conducted outside of California. So they're looking for it.
They said the adoptive parents said that they were in the backyard and then just suddenly went missing.
Unfortunately, some people taking foster care as a business.
Oh yeah.
I personally cannot do that because I would love a child, give a child a better environment to grow up in. And
give them a chance.
Exactly, because whatever they've gone through to get in the system in the first place, they don't need someone else to come in and damage them more than what they already damaged. They could change the course of their life.
Yeah.
And
so far they're saying they're working closely with the missing and exploited children. So they're probably thinking that they were probably sold.
Okay.
I would like that spotlighted because it just seems like they're not really getting attention as much attention as they should. Like there's 2 children missing, not just one.
Exactly.
2 children don't just disappear into thin air.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So
we need to bring.
I have all 3 of these names down, so I'm actually gonna make some calls and try to find out some updates, and maybe next week or within the next week we will try to do a follow-up on it and kind of see if we could get some better information and even the detectives that are working on this case, see if they give us some information, release some more information, or or something, or if they even want to come on the show and talk about it to put a highlight on it, that would be great. So
Thank you.
so it's always important because we actually talked about it on the show when it come down to the Amber Alert. Unfortunately, when
We're
it come
always
down to Amber
runaways.
Alert, we very suddenly see a Amber Alert for a black child in Texas. Now that's here in Texas, but as for other states, I cannot talk about them because I don't know. But in Texas, the Amber Alert is very slow when it come down to a black child.
I can speak for New York and Florida, and I can say I can agree with you because I don't know what it is. I think I have an idea, but I can say that we don't see that in New York or in Florida either.
Yeah, so we would definitely follow up on that, and that's one of the good things about it. Sometimes we receive messages and stuff about, hey, can you look at this, look at that, and we get so overwhelmed with stuff we forget about some. So now that you bringing it to our attention, I wrote it down right here on the, well, you can't see it, but it's on the paper. Have it on the desk
Well,
for,
I found your channel because I was searching. I was searching something at this moment. I can't remember what it was, but it was something that was currently going on, and I searched it, and your channel popped up, and that's when I ended up calling in and speaking with you. Before, I believe it was a missing person or something like that, but just don't think that your voice isn't going to be heard and you don't make a difference, because I definitely found you and I didn't know you from Adam. So, you know, please, like, I think that you guys have a good show going. And there was another thing that we spoke about before, which was criminal justice reform. So
yes.
I appreciate your platform, and, you know, all of the people on the show. You guys are amazing. Keep it going.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. That mean a lot to us because some days we have, I could send Miss Risky a text from the views from the show, and we're like, wow. But also we love the views, but if everybody could at least take the time and subscribe or like the page, because that's where we can make a big difference. And then we can also do more things with the show. We have a lot of great ideas coming up. Miss Risky and I haven't talked about all of them, but she know where I want to go with the show and on some other things, except for the live broadcast. Kind of scary. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
In the traveling. You guys have 20 seconds so I can speak on watermelon propaganda?
Sure.
Yeah.
Miss Chris, you have 20 seconds for that.
Yes.
Watermelon propaganda was a thing that it's literally propaganda. I didn't hear that part of the show, but I would say that the reason that Black people like were targeted about chicken and watermelon is because it was a source of income for the African American community, and it was directly targeted and shut down. Right. African American people are very good at doing both of those things: cooking fried chicken and growing watermelon, right? And it was a source of income. So it could even, like, just to go deeper into the psychology of it, maybe the reason you don't eat watermelon very often and that you develop an allergy, because when you develop allergies, you develop it because you're not exposed to it. It's because we're taught, oh, you don't want to get caught eating watermelon, you know?
Yeah.
Because of the racism of it. But then you develop the allergies because you're not exposed to that thing, right? So I push back on that watermelon propaganda, right? Everyone loves fruit. Push back on that. It was a money maker. It helped a lot of people elevate out of poverty. during Reconstruction,
Exactly.
enslavement.
Right.
So,
And watermelon have a lot of great benefits from it. So it is really a good fruit to have and to eat. So um, to me, I haven't ate it in years up until last month. Um, but I think I'm gonna add it back to my diet and eat more of it. And I enjoyed it when I ate it last month. So I definitely appreciate it. And all aboard, continue to support the show. Please continue to support it. Tell your friend in New York, Miami, tell them, hey, support the show. And
I'll be here.
we always looking for sponsors too. But me and a group of uh, my family, well, my secondary family, we are planning a trip to come to Florida next year, and we're gonna turn up if if COVID gets out of Florida, we're gonna turn up. So definitely stay in contact, and when they get close, yeah, I'm telling you, turn up. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, I appreciate you.
You guys have a great night. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Daddy.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye. Man, that was a great call compared to
Yeah.
uh
Your friend?
yeah, homeboy Patrick Times who called with a block number and all of this. But I love to hear positive feedback.
Yeah.
And one thing that she said, y'all have a great platform. And I've shared this with Miss Risky, my wife. It been times when I wanted to just give up because I felt like we wasn't where I wanted us to be. But
Right.
then somebody would call and say, "Hey, man, this is great." Um, I would have people to call and say, "Oh, you need to change this. You need to change that. You shouldn't be talking about this all the time. Shouldn't be talking about that all the time." But I'm following God. When you follow God, you can't do anything but to follow Him, whatever direction it take you, because I had no idea what I was going to do on the podcast. I know I didn't want to talk about politics, but that's what they've been brought up to, politics and other things that's going on. And I want to
I was
shout out
trying to
to
find
Warren.
that quote from Lyndon B. Johnson, I think it was. Basically saying that racism exists or to make the poorest white man feel like they have some sort of power. I was trying to find the exact phrasing, and I'm almost positive it was Lyndon B. Johnson. Don't quote me on that yet until I find it.
Um, Let me see. And you know what's funny?
Because
Um,
I've quoted it before, and I can't remember where I put it.
no, his daughters was part of the protest that happened in Washington this week. I believe it was two of his daughters that was a part of it. And I'm like, hey, um, you have to take a stand for something. Um, I'm looking while you also looking. So, uh, but trying to see.
Let's see.
Um,
Let's see if it's here. Oh, no, not there.
this I don't know for sure. Um, said Lyndon B. Johnson was a civil rights hero, but also a racist. In here, said he said the N word a lot.
Of course. Oh, wait, I
Back
think I
then,
found it.
okay.
Wait. Oh, I have to subscribe to see it. Never you mind then.
Exactly.
because it's the lowest white man.
Yeah, that's
Um,
it.
uh, let's see. Convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man. I'm looking right now on what is this? Oh wait, too many pop-ups.
When I typed in the lowest white man, a picture of Trump came up. Put his head
Go to the second link.
put his head down.
Yeah, I saw that one. It says if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. He'll give him
Exactly.
someone to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. And that's Lyndon B. Johnson. Allegedly, that's something that he said. I need to keep that saved because I quote this often, or it comes in handy when we're
I'm
me
gonna see if I can. Trying to see if I can.
because they did a fact check on it, but this one.
Actually, I'm gonna post it up in the chat. Um, so it had to be in the history of speak on it with who you with Kurt
Okay.
Dog.
So this is from a 1988 story where I got this Washington Post story. Is called "What a Real President Was Like" by Bill D. Moyers, and the quotes there. So, but it's a whole story. You can't really say it, but it's a whole thing.
I think
So,
I've seen that one.
but yeah, that quote, I'm saving it to my memories and all the things because that always pops up when we talk about racism.
Exactly. Um, so that's man. It's so many things we would like to do, but of course, um, time is sometime against us. With all the things we want to do, and while we're talking about that, we're still looking at getting a panel together. Um, so if you are interested in being on a panel, you can send me an email. Uh, email, no phone call, an email, uh, and then we'll talk later. But send me an email in the subject say, "Hey, I'm interested in being on the panel," and then we could go from there. It doesn't make a difference where you are located. You could be anywhere in the world or out the country. Well, anywhere out the world is across, but you can always send me an email at who you with Kurt Dog at mail.com. In the subject, put panel and tell me a little bit about yourself, man. Miss Risky and I will take a look at it, and then we will call, talk till you get to know you and see if it's a good fit. Now, one thing about it, I want you to understand you do not have to agree with everything we say, but we want you to bring facts. Want you to bring facts and no conspiracy theory. Because if you start doing conspiracy theory, it ain't gonna work. Yeah. So, but if you are interested, no matter where you're located, if you're in Miami, New York, or China, we can make it work. Um, so definitely send that email, and we can come together and try to see what we could do because we want a panel where we can have open discussion and do more things. And we're still going to try to do the love connection between Miss Riskin and Marcellus, but we working on that.
We?
Well, I'm
You
working
got a
on
mouse in
that.
your pocket?
I'm working on that one, but no, but Miss Risky, I know we gone a little bit over our time because um, it's getting late. Yeah, so so definitely let the people know. Um, where they can find you. Do you want to talk about what happened this week first, real
What
quick?
happened this week?
Yeah, sure. Know what you posted yesterday and what you emailed me.
Oh no, that's nothing.
Okay.
Wait until it's
Okay.
something to tell.
Okay. Well,
But
we can still ask though.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we can ask. Hey, I sent you a thing this week also. Did you get it?
I don't
It
know
was
what.
on Messenger.
You gotta be more specific.
The audition.
The what?
The audition. You didn't uh she asked Marcellus to call in.
I gotta go to work tomorrow. I can't be on these things for 10 hours. Marcellus
Exactly.
is asleep and getting ready for it.
Now he told me he was gonna be at work tonight when he was on the show last night. He said, I have to work. I had sent you something the other day. Um I want to say I sent it on your I don't know
But
which
what
platform.
was it? Like you sent so much
About
at it.
it was on Facebook. It was about the upcoming they looking for actors and all of that.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk
No.
we'll talk offline.
Yeah.
We'll talk off yeah, we'll talk offline. Marcellus, he's not gonna call in. I wish he would, but he's probably um speeding down 20 by now trying to get home. 49. But yeah, Miss Risky, let the people know where they can find you at.
In
And
the streets. No, I'm just kidding. No,
on
I'm
the
all
TV and the
over
watermelon.
social media. Social media. Well, mostly Instagram at RSKEE. You can find me. I got all sorts of pages. If you want to communicate with me, go on Instagram. Any other forum, I probably won't respond. Yeah, there's my little Cash App. Contribute to the arts, starving artists. Um, you can check out my books that are on rskeebooks.com. You can purchase books on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, everywhere. So yeah, and my email address if you have any questions or any stories or it's something you want us to research, rskee at Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Hmm.
That's cool. As for
I'm surprised
myself,
Marcellus hasn't hit me up in my risque Yahoo
in your D
email, but what
in your
if
DM, in your
he hasn't
DM.
slid into my DMs?
No, my wife asked me, she said, you think Miss Risky and Marcella's gonna hook up? I said, I don't know. They may already be communicating. I don't know. I don't know.
What
They
is this,
may
a
be
soap opera?
communicating. The turn ask the
The world's
risky
turn.
turn. As the Risky and Marcella's turn. We may just have a love connection on here. No, but you can find me pretty much on any social media, but it's best to send me a message. Um, if you send me a message, I will respond sooner or later. Yeah, because okay, I do research. Somebody send me a message. If you're not a friend, I'm trying to figure out who you are. So, best thing you can do is send me an email. Who you with Kurt Dog at mail.com. Who you with Kurt Dog at mail.com. Send me an email and I will communicate with you. Um, and also, once I get, if we're friends on social media, send me a DM or something and we can communicate like that. So, but I normally return all messages, respond to all messages, even the negative ones. I respond to them too. I do. I really do.
Yes, I know
uh,
you do.
but I'm sure some of them probably get teed off about it, but it's okay. But anyway, uh, we really appreciate everyone for tuning in. And once again, if it's your first time listening, please take the time to like, share, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend. We are live. Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Um, we actually do a lot of good things. So definitely tune in and be a part of the show. Don't just sit back and listen. Be a part. Do like all aboard. Call. She called, but don't block your number. She called in and be respectful when you call. That's the pretty much the only rules we have. Don't block your number. Be respectful and come with facts, truth, no conspiracy theory. But other than that, we really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for supporting the show. All aboard, you made my night. I'm going to bed on a high horse tonight because I'm like, hey, I'm happy. And one last thing before we leave, um, just give a update. I haven't
You ain't looking
heard
for that dog,
anything,
are
but
you?
oh no. Um, uh, what the? So now they talking about the Grand Prairie Cobra is on Twitter now and sparring with a mongoose. Other
Dude,
words,
it's time for you to go to bed.
they still haven't found that cobra in Grand Prairie. So the Grand Prairie and surrounding area, please be careful. That cobra is still on the loose. So until Sunday night, I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you. Be safe. Wear your mask until then. Peace.